Hey guys, it's me CriticalCubing, and today I will be doing some Roux walkthrough solves for you and showing you my thought process during solve. This is the first scramble, and this scramble does not have anything obvious at first glance. There isn't anything obvious like a corner edge pair or an edge connected with the center or anything of that sort. So we have to get a bit creative with our solution, and in this scramble, I will be doing the white and red solution. The red DL edge is here, and then this corner can be put down to the D layer. B move like this. This edge and this corner pair can be inserted by doing U prime, L prime, L prime, UL. And the other edge for my first block is at the back in here. And this is going to come in here. And then U prime, U prime L is just going to put this here. And then finally I have to do a U2, R prime and wide U for finishing my first block. The DR edge is this one. And after the initial B move, U prime, L prime, U2, R prime, yeah. After the initial B move, nothing is affecting the DR edge at the back. So you have to do wide R prime, U R2, and your first block plus DR is solved. So this is going to be my solution. B, U prime, U prime, L. Insert this one in here, U. And this second block case is sort of bad, so I will be influencing this. U, instead of doing normal R2 like this, I will do wide R prime, U, wide R prime. Well, I already see both of my pairs, wide R prime, which influences this pair and gives me something to work with than the previous one. And in here I will be solving this pair first. U2, M prime, pairs this up. U2, R prime, U, and then here I will end with a wide R so as to keep this edge at the back in here. U prime, M. Pairs up, U2, wide R, U prime, and end with a wide R prime so I have the yellow center on the top. CMLL, and then these are my LR edges. Like that. This is the next scramble, and in here we have this L-shape first block pattern for the orange block, and we have an edge connected to the center for the blue block. So we have something to work with. The white and blue block does not seem that good, so we'll try the white and blue, yellow and blue block. And yellow and blue block can work. This and this can be paired up with U2M. D prime, and then D prime is going to move this corner towards the back. So we have our last pair in here. B prime, M prime, UR, B prime will solve my first block. But that is too many moves. The better option is going for this white and orange block. We already have this L pattern in here, and the corner for this pattern is here. So this can be inserted with DR D prime, and DR D prime is going to move this corner in here and here. With the orange on top, and the edge for this corner is this one. So if you do U DR D prime, this and this corner and edge will be paired in here, and you can insert this pair towards this back with U2 B move. Yeah, not B prime, B. The DR edge is this one, and U DR D prime is going to put this edge at the back in here. And instead of doing U2 B prime, which is just going to keep the edge in this position but will get flipped, you can do R B prime, and that will insert this DR edge and also finish my first block simultaneously. So yeah, U DR D prime, this and this R B. And I did not see this previously. This case is sort of bad. So I'll of course solve this case first, and since this case I am solving it next, the silver lining, although this case is bad, the silver lining of this case is that the moment I solve this case, right, the corners case that I will have will stay constant. So when I'm solving this case next, I can skip the second block to CML transition if I notice the CML case after I solve this case. So I have this U-shape case, which is good, and I can skip into my CML now. So once I solve this case, I can skip into my CML, which is sort of the merit of having this case. Usually that case is bad, but well, you get that case, you should have noticed it earlier that you are getting that case. But since you've got that case now, might as well use it for something. Like it said, every cloud has a silver lining. We just use that pair to our advantage. And then we have LSC, inserts at the back. The edge, this LR edges are done. And then 4C. This is our next scramble, and there are a couple of things that I see at a glance. We have this edge connected with the red center, so we can make a red block with white or yellow on bottom. We also have a green edge connected with the center, so same goes for green, yellow or white green block. And we also have this orange corner and edge pair. We also have the option for orange and white block. The white and red block is not that great, because these two can sort of be made into a square by doing R prime, U prime, R prime, D2, but then the square takes itself 6 moves, and continuing this first block further will sort of be useless, so might as well look at something else. We have one of the edges already connected with the center in here, the other edge is this one, so this one can go with U, B move, not B prime, B, and form a line in here. The corner for one of the corner for the first block is here, and then the other corner, this one, is going to go back in here with the B move, and then this edge is here. So you can do wide R2, U wide R prime, U prime, normal R prime, D prime for finishing your first block, which will look something like this. And I see this pair first, so might as well solve the first 2 blocks like that. The white and green block is not that good, and same goes for the yellow and green block. So we are stuck with solving the orange block. So the orange, what we have here is this corner and edge pair, and the center can go towards this side with wide U prime, R wide U2, and form a square at the back in here. But instead of doing that, we can sort of try on the solution. What I see here is this corner for the first block is back in here, and we can insert this edge for the orange first block by doing a B prime. So B prime is going to make this corner come in here, and then the edge for this corner is back in here, so you can do U F prime, which will create an edge line in here. And with that, this block is going to come in here, and you can do wide R prime, U wide R2 to make a corner line in here, and D move finishes your first block. The DR currently is here, B prime does not affect this. U F prime is going to put this DR at the back in here. Wide R prime, U wide R2 is just going to keep the DR in this position, but the DR edge will be flipped, so white is going to facing towards the side and red will be facing towards the top. So U prime, wide R, U R2 for solving DR. Let's get started. So I will hold the cube from this angle like this. B, U, F prime. So solves edge line in here. And our corner line can be solved by doing wide R prime, U, wide R2 like this. And D. This is the first thing I noticed, and usually if this was a speed solve right now, I might just go U prime, wide R, U, R2 like this and solve this pair. However, I have more time to think about my moves since this is not a speed solve. So what I can do here is, instead of going for that pseudo block building technique I used before, I can go for pure block building by doing a U prime as before. But instead of doing wide R, U, R2, what I can do here is hide the edge in the D layer like this, and then these two can be paired up with M2. But pairing up with M2 will sort of be meaningless because the edge also has to move towards the back. So instead of doing M2, I will do wide R2 and U and then wide R2. So that will make a square at the back and then also insert it simultaneously. So U prime, wide R2, and I see this is my next pair. So I'm going to keep the wide R2 is going to move this edge in here. I don't want that, so I'm going to do a wide R prime and then normal R prime like that. And that solves my, what is this? And that solves my second block square, and sort of a pure block building style. And we have our next case, this one. Like that. Anti-soon, like this. L and R, solve like that. pair, and done. This is our next scramble, and we have a similar scenario as last time. We have an edge connected with the red center, edge connected with the green center, and we also have this corner edge pair for the green and yellow block. So green and yellow block has two things in our favor. We have this and this, which is sort of easy. Wide RD creates a square like that, and the other pair is for the first block is these two, and you can do wide, since you're doing wide R and D, you can continue with wide R moves, wide R, U2, wide R prime, U, F prime. But the DR edge is here, and if you do the wide R, the next time, the DR edge will sort of be flipped. So in that case, you have to do normal R moves. So wide R, D, R, U2, R prime, U, F prime. The DR edge comes in here, R, U2, R prime, U, F prime. The DR comes in here, R2, and inserts the DR. Okay, and so this was the yellow and green. We should check out the other options as well. And yellow and red can be solved, although it is not as good as the yellow and green block. So what we can do here is these two can pair up with one move like this, U prime, R prime, but instead of doing that, we can again sort of go for a lines approach. I can create an edge line in here with this edge, L, U, L prime, and that inserts the edge in here, and then I can do U prime, R prime, for pairing up these two in here and then putting it down. And then finally we will have this comes in here, D, U prime, R prime, D prime, and my first block is solved. But as you can see, it is a lot of moves, and our green and yellow is the better option. As mentioned earlier, green and yellow are D, R, U2, R prime, U, F prime. And here I first see this, so for solving this, I'll just keep the edge in the bottom layer like this, and we also have a pair in here. So U prime, pair, insert, and then this is also just normal insert. CMLL, and then this is here, and I know that the other edge has to be at the back because I do not see anywhere in these four positions or in here. So solving this, U prime, M, like that, and then 4C like that. This is our last scramble, and there are again a couple of things that I can see right off the bat. We have edge connected with the center in here, and we have this already set up pair. So these are the obvious things that you can see, and we will try to build. Oh, we also have this orange and blue, and we will try to build something around that. So blue, for example, this can go in here, D, and this can pair up at the back, R, U prime, F. This comes in here, U prime, M, U2, wide R, F prime. So blue and yellow is one option, but this can also be used for the red block, and red block also has this connection here, so red might be the better option. We have to check. Okay, so what I can see here is we already have a line sort of created at the back, and we can create a square with this corner and this edge by doing normal wide R prime, U2, M prime, D. And that will create a square at the back, and I can solve my first block with F move, since this is just going to move in here, and with an F move you can finish your first block. And with the F move, the DR edge is moving here, and you can do UR2 for solving a DR as well. As mentioned earlier, these two can be set up into a square by R prime, U2, M prime, D, and we can finish our first block with F move like this, and I see two of my second block corners, but I do not see their edges, which means that the edges are at the back in here. So I will influence these two corners, since I do not like corners with either yellow on top or white on top. So I'll influence the corners and end with a wide R prime, so I can also see some edges which were stuck at the back. And both of my pairs are in plain sight, this and this. And first I'll solve this just because this is easier to do, like that. And then this is a 2gen case which can be solved like this. CMLL, like that. And LC and 4C, like that. That was all for today's walkthrough solves. If you want me to make more walkthrough solves, please comment down below. And this is pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Take care guys, and bye.